we're live today.
What's up, everybody? It's Q and Chop, chopping it up.
Hey, Q, who we got today, my man?
Man, today we got DJ Taylor, man, a repeat guest, awesome athlete, man, and he got a little more in store for us this time, man. We're excited to hear about it.
DJ, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How's everybody doing?
Blessed, bro. Blessed. Glad to be here, man. Another day.
Out there just chilling, grinding, man. Working still.
Yeah, man. That's the grind nowadays. As long as you stay healthy and grind, you good.
Right. I'm sure everybody want to know, man, since the last time I listened to you, man, how was the soccer season ended up going for you? And how everything else, I know with COVID and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure all the listeners want to know how, with a little bit of update before we get into the other stuff.
Yeah, so the season sadly ended in a disappointment. Obviously, we didn't go through playoffs. But for me personally, it was a really good season. I had scored my first league goal for.
I saw it. I was there.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I was there.
But, that was great. Obviously, a good big step in my career. I've been waiting to score a goal. Because I had chances before the last couple of seasons. I just didn't finish. But this year was the year. So that was exciting.
Congrats.
Thank you. I also got a couple assists. So personally, yeah, it was good. But as a team, it was sad we didn't go through playoffs. But it is what it is. Crazy year, though, with COVID and all the protocols we had to take, like getting tested once a week and all that stuff. Wasn't fun, but it is what it is.
Yeah, dude, you got to do to stay safe, I guess, right? It's just like sometimes you don't want to go work out, but hey, you want to get to that ultimate goal, so you got to go out there and get it.
Yeah, exactly. And like with COVID, you got to find different ways to do it, Obviously, we had to make sacrifices like staying in our bubble, couldn't like go see friends or anything like that. It was just staying in your room, chilling.
How was that, man? Because, I know the NBA was talking about it, how it was a struggle mentally, man. In your bubble, personally, how was that for you, not being secluded from everybody?
Yeah, I think it wasn't like that bad. Obviously, like I just kind of missed seeing my friends and, just chilling with them, whether that's talking to them. But obviously we found different ways, whether that was just like a phone call one night or, a Zoom call. I even would Zoom my friends, just to talk so I could see their face or FaceTime, I think the hardest part was probably in the hotels because like using the hotels, you're with a roommate on your team and like you guys eat together and everything. Like our protocol was like, you just grab your food, it's individually packaged, and you go back up to your room. So that was probably the hardest part because you're just by yourself all day rather than like talking with somebody the whole time.
Right, you lose some of that camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
But that must be whack, man. Like I seen videos of those athletes, they talk about their bubble and they got a little package of food and we gotta go back upstairs now, and get your apple, a little ham sandwich and applesauce, and you're like, an athlete gets this. I'm like,
yeah, wow. Yeah. Luckily, the food that we were provided was actually really good. Shout out to Nick Platter for that. But yeah, it's just different, because all your meals are packaged individually. Even after the game, you still got a little individual package, so.
Makes you feel like you're a kid again, getting them box lunches.
Yeah, like somebody making you a lunchbox for the rest of the day.
Right.
That's crazy, man. It's crazy how everything is, and there's times, but like hotels, like in the hotels, right? You were traveling, yeah, but you didn't travel as much, like towards the end, right? Like you stray more here. Well, you had that group of like it was like 4 teams, right?
The for our travel group. Yeah, so 18 players travel.
Yeah.
But yeah, the travel was different for sure. Like, it's kind of nerve-wracking because you're going through the airport. Obviously, you're wearing a mask the whole time. So that was weird too. You're wearing a mask the whole time everywhere you go, at least until you get to your room. So let's say like we leave at 9 a.m., you're wearing your mask that whole time till 3 p.m. until you get to your room. Even on the plane, like sleeping, you got to sleep with the mask on. So yeah, that was different. And we didn't like take anything from like the airline. So like if they offer like snacks and stuff, we weren't supposed to take any of that. So yeah, I think it was a little nerve wracking though, because like you're in the airport and different stuff and people. Yeah, so you just try to get there in and out as quick as you can, and be safe about everything.
Who put those rules that you guys couldn't take anything from the airport? Like this, was it the coaches or was it the league itself?
I'm pretty sure it was the league, because the league, before like the season started, there's a whole big list of game day protocols and then travel protocols that all the teams had to follow in the whole league. So for sure, I think it was the league, but I think our coaches would have said the same thing regardless if the league made us do it or not.
I was there for the almost last 3 games maybe, against Vegas. I watched both of the Vegas game. It was like back to back. I think it was. It was a Thursday and a Saturday. I think. Y'all played back to. What the one game was the game you scored your goal.
Yeah, it was with Memphis. Yeah, that was interesting too, because the game we were supposed to play them like a couple weeks before that, but that's when like the social injustice were happening. So Memphis and us decided to boycott one of the games. So that's how we played them back to back Thursday, Sunday, which is also tough, because you're already playing a team 4 times, and then to play them back to back in a matter of 3 days is physically exhausting. But yeah, it was a great game. Obviously, I scored my goal. So it was good.
That game was wild, man, because it was going back and forth. We tied up, and then there was overtime, and then eventually they ended up winning the game, I believe. But
yeah,
it was crazy. The guy put 9 minutes, 9 minutes or extra time. It was wild stuff, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I'm surprised like nobody's here.
Yeah, it was crazy, especially when the games go long like that. Because usually, like, it's the extra time is usually maybe no more than like 3, 4.
Well, I was about to say I'd never seen a 9-minute extra time before. I was like, really? That's like 3 overtimes.
Yeah, when people get hurt, especially like as the season's going, with the season that we had, and us playing like every 3 days, it's physically like exhausting. Like I said, so a lot more injuries happen this time around.
Yeah, man, but it was surprising to see that happening, and I was there, and I'm like, wow, if we would have, I told myself, if we would have had the crowd, we would have won that game easily, because Memphis wouldn't have as much freedom to move. There's nobody there to talk trash to,
Yeah, that was probably like the weirdest thing was once we started there was no fans at all. So like there's no energy, besides us like just yelling at each other and yelling at the ref. Yeah, we missed the fans' energy for sure this past year.
It was if you're like a soccer addict or like a soccer like
a sports addict anyway, period. You can't live without these fans.
Like enthusiasts, like like you could watch a sport without crowds, or and you see the plays and like hear the players talk. It opens your eyes up, You're always like, oh wow, like this is what they do. Like this is how defense connects with the midfield and then the forwards. It's like so. It was for me. It was a learning experience for me as a coach too, because I was coaching. I was taking from Coach Dave, like stuff he does.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna implement that. My trainings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that was the funny thing for me was like I knew like the fans were going to be able to hear like us cussing at the ref and stuff, and
that Memphis was a piece.
The refs were not very good this year. Definitely probably one of the worst this year, but yeah, you can't control the refs. So
yeah, I can't. Not at all.
It is.
I'm gonna type it on. There's a lot of soccer players. Do you talk to the refs a lot? I know, especially I'm a basketball player, so I see it all the time in the league, and even playing myself. You talk a little something to the refs. Y'all do that a lot on the field?
Oh yeah, for sure. If you disagree with anything, we're talking to the ref.
Yeah.
I mean, usually the cool refs are the ones that'll talk to you like back, like just explain like why they make the call or something like that. Well, unfortunately, a lot of refs like freak out or like they get persuaded by the other team or something like that.
Oh yeah,
call
or by the crowd or something like that. Or
that's when it's like you just wasting my time now. Like,
it's true. But I do respect a ref that's like, hey, if you want to talk to me, I will explain to you exactly what I saw. And it's happened to me like a week ago in my kids' game, the ref is like, I saw that the kid fell, and I was like, oh, what's with the foul? And then he explained, hey, do you want to explain? I'm like, yes, explain to me, yes, please. But that's so unusual for refs to like go ahead and explain to you like what they saw.
Yeah.
So I let it go, but it's kids' game. You know, I'm not gonna out there and I'm not gonna chew the ref. You know, so I'm just gonna let it go. But I was like, but yeah, he explained like, hey, do you want me to explain to you? I could do this whole game. I could spend the whole game. I respect that. But DJ, now that the season's over, what's going on for the off season, man? What's your plans? What you got going?
Yeah, I mean, obviously with COVID, can't really travel like I usually would, off season. But now I'm just coaching at Ed Soccer Programming. I like to get back to the youth and try to, put players in better positions than what I was in when I was younger. So I'm excited to be doing that again. And then I'm still studying marketing online at Wake Tech. It's been going well. It's all online. So, being able to study that and then put it right into my business is obviously a great opportunity and experience. And then, then I got my DJKT apparel. It's been good. I released that at the end of June. So, had some successful releases and got an exciting new project coming up with that.
That's dope, man. It's good to hear, man. We're excited to hear soon from your new adventure with the marketing, and the apparel. Well, how's it? Not that you're an entrepreneur, right? How have you seen life differently now, or have you seen the different changes of the decisions that you make now every day?
Yeah, I think honestly, just being an entrepreneur and having a business, I'm not even gonna lie, your life gets way more stressful. That's for sure.
Yeah.
As you guys know, it gets way more stressful. You're worrying about different things. I end up laying in bed at night. I'm thinking about this, and this. But yeah, I definitely see things in a different view, just little insights, that I normally wouldn't, recognize, whether that's with business or there's always, for me, there's always opportunity to learn. And that's whether you see something or you hear something or you just talk to somebody that has anything to do with business and stuff like that. It's just, you kind of turn into a sponge and try to just grasp all the knowledge that you can. And just connecting with people, I always like to connect with people before I even had the business, but now with the business stuff and talking about business and being an entrepreneur, it's just fun to network with people and learn about them and help them grow as well.
Yeah, man, most definitely. Do you think COVID helped with you starting the business? Do you think without COVID, without things slowing down, like you said, normally you travel. So do you think without it, you wouldn't have started a business, or maybe you would start it later on?
Yeah, I think it could be either of those things. I don't know if I would have even started it anytime soon, or realistically, I wouldn't have been able to till the off season for sure. Because obviously as an entrepreneur, as a startup, you got to put in all those hours.
Right.
Yeah. So I think definitely once COVID hit and, I was just sitting there doing nothing, I was like, I got to take advantage of this time. So, just like my brand says, turn your dreams into reality. My dream was to create a clothing brand and see where it goes from there.
Right. That's awesome. So do you see a correlation, with playing soccer and what it took to, be in the position that you're in right now, and the same as to be an entrepreneur in that same kind of mindset? Like you said, it's tough. Like you said, it's more stressful than it is working a 9 to 5. So would you see some of the same principles that you carry over from soccer to the entrepreneur world?
Yeah, I think for sure. Especially with soccer, just the discipline to work hard and constantly push myself to how do I say this? To push myself to pass my limits. That's what I constantly try to do in soccer. And that's obviously what I'm trying to do now on the entrepreneurial side. So I definitely think that soccer has helped me install those principles into not just the entrepreneurial side, but just in life in general. I think that's why a lot of the youth should also get into sports, even if it's not the top sports, but just to create those values that they can use in life.
Yeah, most definitely. I definitely agree that every kid should play a sport. I think me and you was talking about this at least 1 year. Just 1 year at least, play a sport just to understand. If you never play again, if you don't like it, just to understand what it takes. Because a lot of people, I know you've been through this. In college, other kids but you don't do no work. You chilling. You have to work. But we work harder than you. You chilling after work, after class. We got practice. We got practice before class. We got another workout after this. You know what I mean? They don't understand. I think they would if they had to go through it at least 1 year.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. They should definitely at least just learn the sacrifice and the kind of culture that soccer, or not just soccer, but sports create. It's kind of eye-opening for sure, especially in there's whole different levels at it, even at my level, there's a certain level, but obviously if you think about the top leagues, there's even more levels to that, different culture, different sacrifices. So yeah.
That's right, man. Like I've been dealing with people, lately, like in my business side, like people that never sat at a locker room,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
like they
it's
don't
crazy.
understand, like you're like, yo, bro, like it's a 50-50 stuff, like you gotta understand people, you gotta talk to people, it's not like your way, your highway, it's like you never like sit in a locker room and talk to guys or girls, and like be like teammates with, like, and
Yeah,
you can see that, man.
yeah, I think for sure, yeah, people. That's one of like the biggest experiences is just being in a locker room with your teammates on a day-to-day basis for 10 months at a time. You learn more about people. You learn about putting people, others before you, rather than, like you said, being highwaymen and just doing your own thing and not caring about anybody else.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, and I used to be thinking about, man, I'm like, man, you should have. I mean, your parents should have took you to baseball practice or something, football, soccer, I don't know, something, you should have just play with teammates so you can see that not everything in life is just you, or as you as a person, it's like you gotta help the people out, you help your culture out. Crazy, man.
And I think sports also teaches you giving back to the community, like in your own way, not necessarily like monetarily, but like you're saying, you coaching now. Somebody gave that to you. Somebody taught you lessons that made you want to teach somebody else lessons. And that goes hand in hand, which I was just talking about, that unselfishness.
Yeah, I think it's super important, especially if you're an athlete, or you don't even have to be an athlete, but just to be in a position where you can help others is a blessing, because some people aren't in a position where they can help others. So it's our responsibility, I feel like, to give back to the community and put people in better shoes than we were, when I was their age.
Yep, that's true. And like I think all three of us coach. I think so.
Mhm.
It's kind of common for athlete to coach again.
Yeah, for sure.
It's in our nature.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it wasn't at first for me. I didn't think I ever was going to coach after I played. I was like, I see coaches, they be stressed out and all kinds of stuff. I was like, I don't know if I want that life. But, man, once I first started, I was like, I can't. I got to do it. It's so fun.
Once you kind of like create that bond with certain players and people, like I said, just connecting and networking, you don't want to give that up.
Not at all. And you get to stay around the game you love. What?
Can't ask for anything more,
Right. And I'm sure you go out there and play with them sometimes and kick it around with them and just kind of like have fun. There's nothing better than this, connecting with somebody with the love of the sport. It's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with soccer, brings everybody together. That's why a lot of people love it,
Right. So why did you choose apparel? What was that your first endeavor?
I don't know, honestly. I'm a shoe guy, but I'm not like crazy shoe guy yet. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I like to have a little drip here and there, but I'm definitely like apparel, like with clothes and stuff. I like to have fresh clothes. I like to try different styles, try to make my own style. Honestly, it probably came from like just me going to Spain for those 2 years, because I kind of learned like the European culture.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I brought that back with me once I came here. And obviously I was like, what if I can create a style that kind of ties in both of those, create something new. And my style, obviously I got friends and people, say like whatever I'm wearing is dope. And I'm like, you know what, like, why not just try and make something new?
Right. So what's the ultimate goal with that? You plan on LLCing it or anything like that? Maybe have some other endeavors under that?
Yeah, so I just turned my business into DJKT LLC before the sole proprietorship. So I have it set up. So like I said, if I want to do like, let's say a podcast like you guys or something, just give some insight to people. I like dancing too, so maybe one day I'll create a dance company or something like that. But yeah, that's the idea, is to branch off DJKT as the name and to whatever I want it to be.
That's dope, man. That's dope that you're branching out. It's dope that you're branching out of your your professional soccer, and you become more entrepreneurial and thinking. You're already thinking ahead of what you want to do. Just one small project you have now is going to be bigger projects, and then you're going to create more projects from there. It's great to hear that, man. It's not common from hearing from a lot of athletes actually that they're like, oh yeah, I wanna do this, do that. Some people just would be like, I'm gonna play ball, and then when I retire, just stay home, just chill.
Yeah, man. And I think it'll be beneficial. Like obviously right now it's the most like learning experience and the hardest time, just starting up stuff. But once I get things going, I think it'll be beneficial, maybe not even 5 years from now, but maybe 10, 15 years from now. It'll be really beneficial. And hopefully I'll be able to pass on that knowledge to other people as well.
At what point did you grasp that idea of, the ball doesn't stop and the ball stops bouncing at one point, At what point did you grasp that?
I think maybe like a couple of years ago, I actually, honestly, one of the biggest things that really influenced me to make that decision was having Austin Deleuze retire. I know you know him, Christian. Mm-hmm. He was our captain. But having him retire, and I don't think he was really sure what he wanted to do next, and so then I was just thinking, like, what do I want to do next? One day when my time comes, obviously it's not going to come for, maybe hopefully 10 more years at least. But when it does, what am I going to want to do? So that's kind of led me to start studying marketing, if I do something outside soccer, and then obviously coaching. And then, so yeah, that's what I was kind of just thinking, was just seeing him retire, and then, him trying to figure out what he wants to do. It was just like, hopefully I won't be, hopefully I'll know what I want to do once I retire. And it's been good so far. So, yeah.
So what was your first like reality of entrepreneurship when you were starting with your brand? Like, okay, I have this idea. How do I create it now? How was your first experience with that?
Yeah, so like basically, like obviously, like as an athlete, like I always just want to say like I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna just do it, But like obviously with the entrepreneur side, it's like I want to do this. Well, I gotta research this, and this. Put in the time and effort to research like what it takes to do it, how to legally do it, all that stuff. I kind of realized that once I was like, what? So like, what would the apparel look like an online apparel store look like? And then I had to research, what are the top things to like programs to go through. And that's where I found Shopify. And after I found Shopify, then I'm learning all the stuff in Shopify that has like business advice and stuff. I'm looking up, what do entrepreneurs do? Like, how do they network? All that stuff. So I think it really hit me like once I started doing research, because I was like, I really got to look up all this stuff. I couldn't just get it like this, you know what I mean? And that was frustrating to me to some degree, because I like to just, I'd say I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna get it done like that. But it kind of is like a humbling process, because I wasn't able to just be like, I'm gonna make this store and it's gonna be a top thing within like a month. You know what I'm saying? It takes more than a month. It takes years,
Right. And it's crazy. I've thought about that recently. It's a different type of grind. As athletes, man, when you want to work out, and all you do is got to go out there and work out. Like you just go make yourself go run or go shoot the ball or kick it in the goal. When you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to make yourself like think about or type in and Google and look up certain things, and you got to call around, and it's a different type of grind, bro. So yeah, it's a different type of grind, bro. So, I mean, just in your opinion, man, like what's like, how do you even do it? Like how did you translate it? Because like I said, it's a little different, but we still got to grind. So how's that translation for you?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things was like that I got from soccer was just like not giving up. So, you have to embrace, I think you kind of have to embrace the fact that you're going to have setbacks. I think if you try to be an entrepreneur or try to do something and you just take a setback and you just give up on it, there's no point of you even starting it in the first place. Right. So that's kind of the big thing for me. It's just like every time I hit a setback, I just kind of remind myself not to give up and just to keep going. And that's kind of like the mentality you have to have in order for your thing to really pop off or get to wherever you want it to go eventually. Because you're going to face a lot of setbacks, and it would be much easier to just give up and be like, let's say we meet today and you guys are like, what's happened to the girl brain? It's like, I just wasn't feeling it, But instead, I'm here today like, oh, yeah, it's still going. We're still grinding. So that's kind of the biggest thing is just don't give up when you have a setback and embrace it, because every setback, you're going to learn something new.
Has anybody from the team asked you for advice on entrepreneurship? Like yo, DJ, like what you, how do you get your SOC, or how do you get it going?
Yeah, I've actually had like a lot of conversations with a lot of my teammates. Well, especially because NCFC set up this, we had this program right after COVID hit. It was like a kind of like an entrepreneurship career program where you kind of explored what you want to do outside soccer. And so that was really beneficial because I had a couple of my teammates in there as well. But yeah, besides that, like, just on bus trips, we were just traveling and stuff. People just ask me like you do this yourself? Like, how did that work? Yeah, so it was good talking to the guys about it and stuff because I think a lot of the other guys are exploring new avenues as well for them. But yeah, it was good to just have little conversations like that and help them grow to help eventually whatever they want to do.
Right, because it's good to see your teammates succeed as well as yourself, and especially like you said, you've been at 10 months with them, 9 months with them every day. You want to learn something new. You want y'all get common sense to each other. So sometimes it's better to see our fans, succeed with us, and you can always collab with something, with somebody.
Yeah, that's been cool too. Luckily, they've been gracious in supporting me. So I see we pull up the same. We had a trip, we pull to the airport. I see Dre's got the DJKT apparel hat on. Like that's dope. You know what I mean? Because that means wherever we go, people are gonna see it. Obviously, and that's my guy. So yeah, it's been good. Obviously, we had the collab with NCFC for the Black Lives Matter T-shirt. That's been really good too. Making a lot of donations. All those proceeds go to the Black Lives Global Network. So. Yeah, it's been crazy seeing how many people we can just touch and reach out.
Right, and it's just self-advertising, like you said, a hat or a hoodie, something that's low cost that can anybody can see. And y'all got faces already. Y'all be on TV. Everybody knows who y'all are and where y'all play at. So I mean, that's just awesome, most definitely. I don't know. For me, sometimes I struggle. Sometimes I feel like the closest people, sometimes they take the longest to support you when you're an entrepreneur. Besides your teammates. Have you run into those problems?
I wouldn't say it's a problem, but I definitely think like a lot of people say this, and I definitely believe this after experiencing it. It's like you see who really like supports you, outside of who you are. I guess like who really has your back at the end of the day. It's kind of what you see when you enter like the entrepreneur side, because you have your business, and if people really want to support you, like example for clothing, they're gonna buy something,
Right.
They might just say, "Hey, you're doing a good job," and that's it. But at the end of the day, that doesn't help you with anything. So, like I said, I don't think it's like a problem, but I think it's a definitely like kind of eye-opening experience because you see who really has your back at the end of the day and really supports you.
That's true, man. That's true. I've experienced that too. With my two businesses that I have. People's like, "Hey, man, good job, man, good job with stuff," and like I'm like, "What's up, though? What's up with the help, though?" Or like I have friends that are chefs that own their own restaurants. I go out there, man. I go to the restaurant, once a week. Hey, what up, chef? Let's get some tacos, and we eat it up, and he tells me every day. Every time I go, hey, thank you for supporting me, thank you very much. And well, yeah, the support for the homies, And then then I have a sushi chef. He's a restaurant too. I can support him too.
Yeah,
so,
man.
I mean, in turn, it'll come back around. They might need you for a roofing chop or something like that. So you support them, they're going to support you.
Yeah, exactly. I think at the end of the day, it's all about the bigger picture. So it's about like you helping others and others helping others. And that's the cool thing too is I've been able to like network with people that are in higher places than where I am on the business side, but they're willing to actually like tell me, like explain their process, like connect with me on how they got there and how I can use that for my business. And that's kind of like been the biggest thing I think that a lot of entrepreneurs got to do. There's a lot of people that are just like selfish. They're like, nah, I'm up here. Like, I'm not going to help you just because, I'm doing my own thing. But that's been the cool thing is just seeing who those people are.
Yes, I've been to that. People like ask questions. Like when I started a couple years ago with my businesses and I had questions. They're like, yeah, hit me up, hit me on the phone, call me tonight. I call them up. This voicemail is full. I'm like, all right, man, bet. All right, I'm gonna do some of my own then.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of another like humbling thing you gotta experience in the business side is like, you know, if there's no one there to help you, you have to just do it yourself and figure out a way to, whether that's you research whatever you're trying to find out or just doing it your own way. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. You know, it's very hard, challenging. But if it's meant to be, you got to push up, and you know, you go always push. You know, push to see what's going on. And you know, I always tell people like I told you yesterday, you just gotta do it. You know, if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. But you did it.
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously, like I said, every setback is an opportunity to learn. That's how they gotta look at it. You know, just have that positive mindset in whatever you do.
Do you have other like ideas maybe you got for the future? Like maybe you want, like you said, you want to do that dance, maybe do a dance studio, you know, or dancing company, you know. What do you like, feel like doing, like an academy, or you know, like a podcast studio, like, or what you got?
So I definitely think like, you know, maybe once I get my business like where I want it to be, to definitely do like a podcast. I think I like networking with people. And then obviously with COVID, you can't like just go talk to people in person. But yeah, I think podcasting would be fun, you know, just to give insight for people. I'm not sure whether like I'd have it like as like an insightful podcast or like just a vibe podcast where I'm just talking to other athletes. You know, like let's say me and Dre have a conversation about soccer or whatever it is. I think that would be cool. I think people would listen to it too as well. So yeah, definitely a podcast. Maybe dancing when I retire, you know. Hopefully I can, you know, become a choreographer or something like that. I think that would be cool. I do enjoy dancing, but you know, maybe I'll go TikTok famous during this off season or something like that. But yeah, we'll see. Something like that for sure. Obviously, like right now, in this point in time, with my new project, my brand, obviously changing its name and then upgrading to custom clothing. That's exciting. I can't really say much about it right now because I want it to be a secret for now. But yeah, be tuned in for that.
Tune in for that. You know, have you thought about maybe singing, or you know, you got the voice. No.
I can't sing. I can't sing. I'm all about dancing. That's it.
Hey man, but I noticed that on Instagram that you're verified now. You can blue chip.
Yeah, it's been cool. I actually was able to get it through NCFC. Lucky Morgan Brown helped me get that, so it's been really cool. You know, being official and being able to hopefully influence more people in a positive way.
There you go. Hey, but now we gotta help our boy out now. Drake, get that blue chip now too.
Yeah, it was crazy, huh? He was tight and he didn't get it. I think they are working on that though. He was definitely upset when he didn't get that. But maybe I'll try and see if I can pull some strings.
I pull some strings for my boy Dre, man. Shout out to Dre. You know, he's a boy, man. He's our boy from the day one.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, but have you been watching the NBA finals?
Yeah, I watched a little bit here and there. I mainly would watch it, you know, with my teammates when we were, you know, chilling and stuff like that. We just talk about it and stuff. Usually I watch more like the final, to be honest. But it's crazy just watching LeBron and everything. I think it's crazy like what he's done for the whole league, and you know, the fact that he's that age and still dominating and has been for like 30 years.
I mean, it is crazy. It's crazy. It's a testament to how much work he puts into his body, and just as an athlete, how much you got to put into yourself, you know, to reach that maximum potential.
Yeah, I think one of the big things you take away from LeBron is like how much he puts into recovery. I talked about this with my personal trainer. He's like, you know, LeBron spends a lot of money on recovery stuff. He even got he's got recovery boots in his car or something like that. But that's the big thing, is just I hope kids can see that and be like, look, if you actually take care of your body from the beginning and do extra stretching, extra whatever it is, icing, ice baths, it'll pay off, you know, and you'll be able to play. You'll be able to extend your career longer.
Right. That's what we all want, right? To play forever.
Exactly.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I heard he spent $1 million on his body every year. $1 million bucks. You know, like, yo. That boy got millions. So he can spend that, but, you know.
I mean, it's a good investment. Like you say, he's making millions and millions of dollars. If I spend $1 million a year on my body to make sure I keep making millions and millions of dollars, hey, I'll do it any day.
That's like if someone spent just like $1,000 a year on their body, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
You can do it at any level. You don't have to be making millions to do that, you know? You just got to do it at your right balance.
So what you got plans for? What you got plans for now? For the next few months? Or like how many months are you off now?
Usually we start training again in February. Rumors are that the league might not start back up till April, which is kind of crazy. It'd be a lot difficult for everybody because it's a struggle just for 3 months, but now it'd be like 4 or 5 months with no soccer. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I'll just be doing my thing, coaching, studying as well, continue to get my degree, and then obviously with my brand, I can focus a lot more on the brand now. Now that we're in the off season, so I'll be making hopefully big strides with that.
More future collabs.
Yeah, future collabs. Obviously, upgrading the custom clothing is a whole different step in itself. Obviously, because now I have to take in inventory and design process is a lot longer.
Have you thought about doing like accessories, like glasses or rings? Or I know you wear earrings. I wear earrings too, but they're off now. But are you thought about doing accessories, something like that?
Yeah, I think I'll definitely would love to do that soon. I already obviously got like hats. I already got dad hats and beanies out right now. But with my new manufacturer that makes like streetwear, I think it'll be really good because, you know, obviously when you go into like more custom clothing, you can do a lot more rather than just print on demand. Because print on demand, you can only like print in certain places.
Yeah.
I think it would be dope to definitely just have a whole bunch of accessories. You know, any way to spread out that name and brand awareness.
Is brick and mortar a goal, or you think you're gonna keep e-commerce?
I don't know, man. Honestly, like I think to be real, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it would be dope to have a storefront here, you know, like in Raleigh somewhere. That'd be crazy, you know, to see like people go in there and stuff. But realistically, right now, I think with soccer, I have to stay online. Obviously, if we get as big as I plan to be, then we would have a storefront. I wouldn't hesitate with that at all, for sure.
Right. Do you worry about having a storefront? You know, like Corona, you know, that knocked out a lot of storefront businesses. You know, a lot of people went in debt out of that. You know, of course, keep that website up, but do you worry about that going in? Like, you know, it could happen again or something crazy could happen again?
Yeah, I think I mean, with a storefront, just in general, as a business person, it comes with a lot more risk than just being online.
Overhead costs, yeah.
So yeah, I think just depends on your decision. You know, obviously, if you go storefront and you save your money enough so that if a disaster or something does happen, then you're good as long as you're smart with it. I think that's a lot of problem with a lot of businesses nowadays is they don't even have enough savings for 6 months. You know, if something does happen, you know, just in case.
Right.
Yeah, I think storefront would be dope though. Definitely would do it one day, but for right now, realistically, I gotta stay online for right now.
Yo, low key though, man. Think about North Hills and downtown Raleigh, boy.
That'd be crazy, huh?
It'd be a nice area.
Man, next to the stadium. If let's say Steve actually built that stadium, right next to that stadium, boy.
Yeah, hey, if Steve gets to the stadium, I'll definitely be talking to him. I'll be chatting his ear about getting my storefront up in there.
There you go, man. There you go. DJ, it's a pleasure having you here in the show.
As always.
Thank you for, taking our call, our Zoom call. Where can our listeners find you at, man?
Yeah, so they can just follow me on social media sites at DJKT27. My brand, obviously, DJKTapparel.com. Be tuned in on DJKT Apparel on social media stuff, too, as well, with the upcoming projects and announcements. I got something exciting for people coming up in probably November.
Hey.
Tell somebody.
But yeah, thank you guys for having me. Obviously, it's dope, connecting with you guys and seeing you. I like seeing and hearing you guys podcast on Twitter and stuff like that. I'll be seeing Chop and Q podcast.
We appreciate you popping in, bro. Most definitely chiming in and listen. Yeah,
man, y'all keep doing your thing for sure.
Yeah, man, we got you, man. Anytime you want to come in, or anytime that something's going on, I know I'm gonna have Dre next week, so he's gonna be fun to talk to. But one day, maybe we could do it late next week or the following week, us four, One Zoom call.
Yeah, I think it'd be hilarious. I think it'd be cool. You know, me and Jay, obviously, it's funny with the way we vibe and stuff. That's my guy. So yeah, just let me know and we'll get that going for sure.
Cute. Last remarks before we head out.
Hey, man, seize the opportunity. Opportunity always arises. What you gonna do about it? You gonna let it go past, or you can go get it? As we talked about last time, just do it. Just go do it, and then you either gonna fail or succeed. And in the day, you can get back up and keep going again.
That's true, man. Like we see, like you just said, just do it, guys. Thank you for listening to us. Today was with DJ Tell from NCFC and DJ Apparel. Guys, head him up head him up with the apparel, of the hats, the shirt. Support him, support his cause, and then thank you again. Thanks again, DJ.
Thanks, guys.
All right, blessings.
Let's.